I hope you guys are starting to realize and understand that closing, it's a process. It's not just one thing you do. We didn't stop at the landmark. Remember the landmark summary close? 2 minutes out from the dealership, you got your yeses. You know, the car drove great, didn't it? Yeah. And it's your favorite color, isn't it? Yeah. And the kids are going to love the DVD player on the long trips, aren't they? Yeah. And I tell you what, that nav's going to be nice on those long trips too, isn't it? Yeah. Remember, you get your yeses, then you have your 100-yard assumptive sold line close. Well, I tell you what, sounds to me like found a perfect car. Go ahead, park it in the sold line right over by your trade. I'll pull the keys to Melso, drive your new car, and I didn't even ask you. You're going to register it in one name or two names. They say two names. What they agree to do? Okay, so again, another step of the closing. So what do we do after that? Remember, step 7. What's step 7? Get our action closes. Great. Hey, Bob, before you shut the engine off, read me the miles. We're going to need that for the odometer statement. 48 miles. Great. Hey, also, tear the sold tag out of the Joe's Weekly Planner. Hey, put the sold tag on the dash so nobody else drives your new car. Bob takes it, puts the sold tag on the dash. What's he doing? Taking ownership. I'm firming this up. Hey, also, Bob, will you do me a favor? Read me the last 6 of the VIN number. Just want to make sure it matches up with the stock number so we don't end up with the wrong paperwork. Bob gets out, reads me the last 6 of the VIN number. I write the stock number down. Is that a commitment? Absolutely. Hey, Betty, while Bob's doing that, can you go ahead and grab your registration, your insurance information, and paperwork from when you bought the car last time? I don't like digging through people's glove box. She grabs her reg, grabs her insurance, grabs the paperwork, gives it to me, giving up ownership of her vehicle. Bob, also, do me a favor. Would you read me the VIN number on your car? Bob reads me the VIN number, action close. Betty, would you read me the miles on your car? 78,326. Great. Hey, also, do me a favor. Take your car keys off your key ring, hang on your personal keys, and you take their car keys, put them on a stock tag, write the dealership's name, or write the customer's name on the dealership stock tag. Another action close. Bob, read me the license plate number. I need that for all the paperwork too. Hey, remember, I said on the last chapter, any information you will need to be able to complete the paperwork once you get that customer inside, that's what you're doing right there at step 7. You're firming it up. You're getting all your action closes. But now we got to talk about step 8, wrapping up the deal, wrapping up this whole process, the closing process. And when you do this, You've gathered information off the customer's car. Now you need to, the first part of it is you need to do a silent walk around. Okay, what's a silent walk around? Well, I always hear in class guys are like, well, that's where I devalue the trade. But you're not really devaluing the trade. The trade is what it's worth. I mean, if you need the quarter panel, that would probably devalue the trade. All you're doing is bringing the customer back to reality on their trade. Let me defend the customer for a second. The dent, the dings, most of the customers don't even realize it's there. The bald tires they have, yeah, they don't really remember them. You know when they find out they have bald tires or they need a brake job? When do they find that out? When a service writer tells them. Or on the bald tires when the steel belt starts whipping the inside of the wheel well and they realize I need new tires. So customers don't necessarily realize it because it's their environment. They're around it every day. Cracking the windshield, they've been looking around it for 6 months. Tearing the seat, yeah, they threw the newspaper over it and just sat on it. So my job right here is to point all these things out. Don't make a big deal out of it. Grab your weekly planner. When you're doing this, just walk around the car. You see a dent, touch it, jot it down. Bald tires, grab a penny, stick it in the tire, jot it down. Don't make a big deal. Cracked windshield, run your finger over the cracked windshield. What's happening as I'm doing all these things? What's happening in the value in the customer's mind? Is it going up or down? It's going down, right? And I'm teeing up and setting up my negotiation later on. Because when customers walk on your lot, where's the value of their trade in their mind? Is it low or high? It's high. What do I need to do to that value? Chip away and bring them back to reality on what their car is worth. So when I sit down and negotiate, I can justify why we're giving them what we're giving them. So touch the dents, touch the dings. Some customers will even defend it. Well, that dent there, that's not my fault. It happened the first day we had it. We were at the mall, shopping cart ran into it, so it's not really my fault. Oh, okay. I mean, they'll even start telling you things they've done to the car. It's great. But you need to touch dents, touch dings, set up the negotiation. And why do you need to have all that stuff? It's You're setting up removable objections for later on when you sit down to negotiate with a customer. And in the negotiation course, you'll learn how to use those in a negotiation. But right here, when you're doing your silent walk around, you need to make sure you're gathering all this information. So touch dents, touch dings, cracked windshield, cracked tail light, check, make sure there's a spare tire in there, make notes in your planner about all of this stuff. Also, as you're doing this silent walk around, find out two other things. Find out what kind of maintenance have you guys done to this vehicle the last 12 months. Now, I know a lot of guys in class say, well, I don't want to know that because in their mind, they're going to be building value. Get it anyway, okay? They're not. They'll be like, well, we just had a brake job done. Okay, our brakes, are those maintenance items or are those value building items? They're just maintenance items. Tires, we just put new tires on the car. How much were those? $400. Oh, okay, great. Are those maintenance items or value building items? They're just maintenance items. Tell you what, the car would be less if they didn't have them. But if they're bald, or if they were bald, they'd be less. But now that they got new tires on it, it's going to be worth more. So find out all the maintenance information they've done. That, well, we had new tires, $400. We had a brake job done in your service department, and it was $299. What else did you have done? Well, we just had a new windshield put in. It was a $100 deductible. Make sure you're writing all that down because you're also setting up your maintenance close once you get that customer inside and start your negotiation. Also, find out how many miles per day or per month or per year they drive, and also find out how many miles per gallon the customer gets on their trade. Now, you may have found this out early on in the wander around. They may have walked on your lot and say, hey, I'm looking for something with better fuel economy. Right now, I'm getting 15 miles a gallon. I need something that's about 25 miles per gallon. But if you didn't find that out early on, you have to find that out right here as you're doing your silent walk around. So gather that information. And if you follow the Joe's Weekly Planner, it says it right in there. It's got miles per gallon, miles driven per year. Fill them in so you can set up your gas savings close later on in a negotiation. See, the great thing about step 8 right here, doing your silent walk around, it is one of the biggest steps that you do on the lot that set up the negotiation. Look, everything you do sets up the negotiation. I understand that. But when you start gathering information for maintenance, when you start chipping away at the value of their vehicle in their mind on the right here in step 8, when you start finding out mileage information, you're putting more tools in your toolbox for later on once you get the customer inside. So do your silent walk around, find out maintenance information, find out mileage information, and then we got to move this customer inside with your final either or question. Great. Turn around, start walking inside. Great. Do y'all want a cup of coffee or would you rather have something cold to drink while we go inside and wrap it up? Turn around and start walking in. At this point, everything you've done with this customer on the lot, building rapport, putting them on the right car, closing question, what's that customer going to do? They're going to follow you in. So turn around. Great. Y'all want a cup of coffee or something cold to drink while we go inside and wrap it up. Now, as you're going inside to wrap it up, stop, grab them a cup of coffee, get them a soda, bottle of water, or whatever, but make sure you have some money on them. Don't bum a buck off the customer to buy them a soda. So bring them there. You don't want to set them down and then go get a cup of coffee. Get it on the way to the desk, sit them down, wrap up your paperwork, be very efficient and very proficient when you're doing your paperwork, and plant seeds of urgency, and now you're ready to start the negotiation. But step 8 is critical to be able to execute a great negotiation and make sure you have a buyer, a firm buyer once you have them in the office. Practice it. I promise you, you'll make more money because you do step 8.